Most definitely, Joker. Most definitely. I swear. It is a constant learning experience. Hello? What about in YouTube land? Can you hear me? Good. It's fixed. Well, that's a good thing. All right, let me try adding the music back in. You also knew me by now that I'm going to find the problem. Or I am so determined to delete 100% of a live that I will find out the issue. Music good. Why, thank you, Julie. All right. Well, that was a little bit longer than intermission than I actually had planned, but it works. So we go on. So much better. Hey, Karen. How are you, darling? Marilyn, I think that, why does it say that? Yeah, it's showing me that it's public, so. All right, so, personally, I think it was Edgar that did it. Very good. All right, so I want to see your comments. What do you think of this story so far? What do you think of it? Aw, thank you so much, Tara. Is it not chilling? I'm so sorry. It was that bad? Wow. Well, it's already 9:36. Do you want me to go to a different story and tell this one tomorrow night? Let me know. All right. So I will do that one over tomorrow for everyone. How's it over there in YouTube? Well, the truth of the matter is, it's going to be over at 10 anyway. So, And it's a shame because it is such a good story. But I will read it again tomorrow night for everyone. Let me see if I can find one. All right. So I'm going to switch lanes. I am going to do a cryptid, and it is called the Boo Hag. The Boo Hag. We're going on a deep dive into this nightmarish legend. Have you ever heard of the Boo Hag? Let me know in the comments. Absolutely. Here we go. Tonight, we explore one of the most sinister legends from folklore, the Boo Hag. A creature of nightmares. She's said to haunt the shadows of the American South, feeding on fear, sleep, and vitality. The legend is rooted in real tradition, passed down through generations, and her encounters are still whispered in dark corners. Prepare for a journey into her dark history, her terrifying encounters, and the warnings passed down to keep us safe from her wrath. Chapter 1, The Origin of the Boo Hag. Can you hear me? Hello there, Owen. A folkloric shadow. The Boo Hag. She's also known as the Night Hag, is a creature with roots in African American folklore and Southern legend. She is described as a malevolent spirit with no skin, cloaked in darkness, with glowing eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. She's said to slip past doors, locked doors even, glide through windows, and hide in the darkest corridors of your home. According to folklore, she was once a witch or a demon who made a pact for dark powers, cursed to haunt the living forever. Her power lies in fear and sleep paralysis. She sits on her victim's chest, draining their energy and their life force, and tries to stop them from breathing. First encounters of the Boo Hag. Many people over the years have reported waking up unable to move. Has this ever happened to you before? Feeling an icy presence sitting on their chest and seeing her shadow form with glowing eyes. These accounts are backed by countless sleep paralysis reports. Hundreds of people have reported waking, not being able to move, feeling completely paralyzed, feeling as if they can't breathe, as if their breathing is labored. But in folklore, she is the real culprit behind nightmares. Real account. A woman from Alabama recounts waking up one night to feel as if something was sitting on her chest. When she tried to rise, it only pushed her back down. Her mouth was wide open. She couldn't breathe. And then something began to form into a shadow with glowing green eyes and a mouth full of sharp, terrible teeth. The woman tried to push again, and this time she prayed aloud in her mind. At first she was unable to scream, but then she felt the scream building more and more, and finally she was able to let it out. And the moment that she did, it vanished into thin air. Chapter 2, The Legend of the Night Hag, a spirit of sleep and fear. The Boo Hag is believed to be an ancient spirit or a witch that preys on the vulnerable. Her favorite time of night, especially in old creaky houses or abandoned buildings, seems to be around 3 o'clock a.m. And we all know what that hour is. The witching hour. That's right. People who have encountered her often describe her as a dark cloaked figure with no face or a faceless shadow. She's said to sit on the chest of sleepers, suffocating them while feeding on their fear and energy. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis? Have you ever felt that you couldn't breathe? Have you ever thought, why can I not move? What if you were being held down by the Boo Hag? The Boo Hag. First person, Georgia. A man who encountered the Boo Hag. Well, I don't rightly believe in spirits. I really don't. But my mama does, my daddy does. So one night I came home late. I was tired. I'd worked a 14-hour shift. I came in and went straight to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night and I swear I couldn't move. I was absolutely paralyzed. I could feel my chest tightening up on me. I've experienced one heart attack, but this wasn't a heart attack. This just seemed like something that was, well, trying to take my breath. I started trying to move my hands, my fingers, my arms. For the life of me, I couldn't move. Only thing that I was really able to move was just my eyes. And that's when I saw it. It was something that was sitting at the foot of my bed. And then I swear, started crawling toward me. Crawled right over top of me, in fact. Just sat down on me, on my chest. I'll never forget those green eyes. They weren't pretty. They were glowing and they were evil. She was cackling at me with those sharp teeth. She was cackling. This gentleman said that he felt an icy cold grip on his chest. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't scream. The only thing that was really able to help me was I remembered this old prayer that my mama used to say. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I was just thinking it. She disappeared after that. But for 2 or 3 days after that, I was drained and I was terrified. That's when I found out that she was the boo hag. To this day, I'm tired. And I'm still a little scared that she's me. Old stories. In some tales, victims describe her as a shadow riding on their back, causing night terrors and exhaustion. Have you ever had a night terror? Has your child ever had a night terror? Have you ever woke up so consumed with fear that you can't leave your bed? What if it's the boo hag, waiting for you in the corner? The problem is, every account of the boo hag is not always the same. Some say she can transform into a breathtakingly beautiful woman, or even a beast, depending on her mood. Chapter 3. Nightmares come to life. Countless people across the South have reported encounters with the boo hag. Many describe her as a shadowy figure with glowing eyes, sitting, or as one lady said, hovering, first person. I just still can't believe it. I know what I saw, but I just don't know if I saw it or I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I was living in Mississippi at the time. And, well, the first thing I remember is I was laying there in my bed. And I always keep a comforter and a fluffy plush blanket over top of that. The first thing I noticed is I was cold. I was so cold. I reached to pull my blanket up to my chin, and that's when I noticed there was no blanket. I was bare. The comforter was gone. The blanket was gone. And that's when I felt it. I knew that I wasn't alone. Someone was in the room with me. I've heard about the Boo Hag down through the years, but this Boo Hag wasn't sitting on my chest. No, she was right above me. She was floating, hovering, just like one of those alien spaceship things you see on the Twilight Zone, just hovering over me. And I just remember its eyes were green and just barely lit, as if a candle was about to go out behind them. I just remember I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. I couldn't even hardly think. I just lay there and I just waited. She was there probably for a good hour. And then I remembered that I went to sleep and I had the worst nightmare that I'd ever had before in my life. In the nightmare, I was in a field and there was a big tree. And I remember there being a rope around this branch. And I could hear someone cackling and screaming at me, saying they were gonna get me. They were gonna get me. I've went to therapy. I've talked to my preacher. I just cannot get that image out of my head. Another account of the Boo Hag. A family in South Carolina had a terrible experience. Here's the story from the mother. I'm pretty sure that Cassie was around 5 at the time. We had just moved into our new house. It was empty, pretty much. We even had a chance to move our furniture in. Our daughter Cassie was the sweetest kid. She was just perfect. She was always smiling, always in a good mood. I cannot remember the child ever being in a bad mood. And then late one night, it had to have been around 2:30 or 3 a.m. in the morning, Cassie woke my husband and I up and she was screaming. She was throwing things, pulling her hair, scratching her arms. I tried to grab hold of her and I couldn't. She was so my husband, he grabbed on and he picked her up and took her downstairs. I just remember her eyes were so wide with terror. We asked her what was wrong. She said the lady with green eyes, that she was floating beside her bed. I wanted to believe that, making it all up, but you've never seen such terror in a girl's eyes before. She was petrified. It was a couple days later. my son, he was staying the week with us. He woke up in the middle of the night and he was screaming. He was 8. My husband told me to come to the room. He went to check on him. When I got in there, Jeffrey's eyes were bleeding. His eyes were bleeding. And they were wide with terror. I wiped the blood away. He was just overcome with emotion. He was beside himself. I wiped it away and I asked him what he saw. He said the woman in a long black robe with green eyes. And she was trying to bite at his face. We left there. We were able to sell it, but I wonder if anyone else ever experienced that. I started doing research on monsters. And every time that I would share it, everyone was like, "Oh, you met the Boo Hag." Another real encounter. There was a woman in Louisiana, and she was suffering from sleep paralysis. She said that she would wake up absolutely paralyzed, couldn't breathe. So she did a sleep study. They asked her, what had she experienced? She said she felt heaviness on her chest. They told her that if she would do the sleep study, they would be able to know when she was going into a nightmare, and they would be able to wake her up and remove her from it. That night, that nightmare came again. The heaviness of someone sitting on her chest, not being able to breathe. They were able to wake her. They asked her what she had saw, what she had experienced, what I've been experiencing for about a year now. This old witchy looking woman sitting on top of my chest, trying to stop my breathing. The legend states that the Boo Hag feeds on fear, pain, and exhaustion. Her victims are often those that are suffering. She can only attack those that are suffering from stress, illness, or despair. She's believed to be a witch or a demon cursed to haunt the living. In some stories, she is a spirit who lost her way, or a witch who traded her soul for dark powers. She wanted the darkest that you could get. Now she is cursed to sit on the backs of the living while they sleep. She drains their vitality. Historical legends about the Boo Hag. In old slave communities, tales tell of a spirit that would sit on sleepers, causing nightmares. She doesn't only cause nightmares, she causes illnesses as well. Some say she was a witch who cursed her own soul. and that she is now feeding off of those in her domain, that she was hung for her evil ways. First person, a woman from Georgia. I really just don't even know how to explain what I saw. I was working late at the hospital. I've been pulling a pretty long shift. It was during COVID, and we just had to stay around the clock. I was so tired and so exhausted, and the head nurse told me that I could go down to the break room. They had set up some cots there, and we could take a nap. She told me to set my alarm for about an hour. I had this nightmare. I was standing in front of the sink in my bathroom, and my eyes were just so watery, like I just could not stop them from watering. So I was splashing water over my face to try to stop it, and I was holding a towel, a white towel. And I looked at my reflection in the mirror, and that was covered in blood too. But my face was distorted and it was bloodied. And then the next thing I know, I can hear someone screaming at me to wake up, wake up, wake up. And finally I did, but I felt like there was something sitting on my chest, and it was heavy and it was strong, and it was trying to cut off my life supply. Finally I woke up. Never forgotten that dream, nightmare, whatever it is. I don't want to see it again. I did tell my sister about it, and she said it sounds like it was the boo hag. The boo hag? What in the heck? I do think there's something to it, though. After I read all these forums on it and books, I think the boo hag is real. Chapter 5, How to Protect Yourself. Warnings and rituals. Folklore offers many ways to ward off her wrath. Some say placing salt around your bed, praying, or even can reflect her and keep her away. She doesn't want to see her own reflection. Others warn that if you do feel her sitting on your chest, don't look at her. Which is easier said than done if you feel your breath leaving your body. But don't look at her. Real account, first person, a man in Alabama. My grandma believes in all those superstitions. She believes in ghosts, spirits. I have to say, I wasn't much of a believer until that happened. So Grandma was getting on up in age. Her and I had just taken a shine to each other. We liked each other. So I was staying over at her house there one night. I remember she had been in the living room, and then I heard something going on upstairs in the bedroom she told me I could stay in. She was spreading something around my bed. After I said, Grandma, what are you doing? She said, I'm protecting you, son. I'm protecting you. And then she started this praying. She was praying out loud. She warned me. She said, she might come and visit you tonight. She seems to take a shine to people who are new here. You've never been in this house. What are you talking about, Grandma? The boo hag, Jimmy. The boo hag. The boo hag? What is that? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. But if she does come, don't look at her. Don't you dare make eye contact with her. Sure enough, I woke up about 3:30 in the morning. I remember looking at the alarm clock, and I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, but when I tried to move, I couldn't. And then I remembered everything the grandma had did in that room. She had put that salt around my mattress. She had prayed out loud for me. And I just remember hollering out, hey, there's salt around this bed, so you go on and get out of here. I couldn't say it out loud, but I was thinking it. She vanished. I told Grandma about it the next morning at breakfast, and she said, yeah, you met her. You met that old nasty boo hag. Some of the other superstitions that have recycled through the South are turn your bed to face the door, hang a broom behind the door, keep a mirror nearby facing outward. She cannot look in a mirror. Remember that. Chapter 6. The victims. Victims of the boo hag? Oh, yes indeed. Lives torn by shadows. Many victims have suffered mysterious illnesses, exhaustion, or even death after encountering the boo hag. Some say they fell ill suddenly, their bodies drained and their spirits broken. Anyone who comes in contact with the boo hag, you will suffer great depression for a few days afterward. It's like she sucks the joy and the life out of your soul. Story from a family in Mississippi. We had inherited this house from my daddy. We weren't doing too well financially. So when he had left us the house in his will, I wasn't real happy about it. But we had nowhere else to go. We were being evicted. So we ended up going to this house. We had been there a couple nights, and all the kids woke up crying in terror. They were claiming that a woman sat on their chest. They said that she had blood dripping from her mouth and that she had these sharp teeth. After the encounter, all three of my kids became very sick, very ill. They couldn't keep down any kind of food. They could barely drink. I told my mom what the kids were experiencing. She told me to find some salt, sprinkle it around the perimeter of their bedroom. So I did. They began to feel a bit better, but my youngest, Janie, the child's never been the same. Her brother and sister told me what they had experienced, but not Janie. Janie is still quite frail and weak. I wish she would tell me what's going on, but she won't. There was a totally different encounter that took place in South Carolina. She didn't make it. So this woman in South Carolina experienced, for a couple nights, she would lie on her stomach. She couldn't sleep on her back because of being in a bad car wreck a few years before. But she woke up 2 nights in a row. Her face was bloody. There was blood on her pillow. And she told her sister that when she would try to move, she just felt like she was being buried into the mattress. She didn't make it. She told her sister 2 nights in a row that something was wrong. They chalked it up as to her high blood pressure was making her nose bleed. But on that 3rd night, there was this call to her sister. She told her on the voicemail, if I don't make it through tonight, let someone know. The next morning, the sister called aunts. What was found was terrible. She did not survive. Her pillow was soaked in blood. It was absolutely terrible. They thought that she had bled to death. Her mother was beside herself, crying and sobbing. What happened to her? What happened to Lucy? Mama, she said something was holding her down. Oh, pshaw. I don't believe in that stuff, and neither should you. But the sister believed. Chapter 7. The connection of the Boo Hag. How she feeds on fear and sleep. So the legend says that the Boo Hag is definitely attracted to fear, despair, and vulnerability. The more frightened and weak your victim is, the more she feeds on it. She is a manifestation of nightmares. A witch in a long black robe, sometimes floating, gliding across your room, straight to your bed, and then lying on your chest, squeezing the life out of you. She is feeding on negative emotions that have been passed down through, some say, generations. Her targets are those that are depressed, sad. She thrives on it. Many believe that she is a spiritual embodiment of collective fears, a dark force that preys on your anxiety. Be careful what you say around her. If you're feeling something negative and you're about to speak it out, don't say it out loud. First person, a woman in Louisiana. I had been through a lot. My husband left me. I lost my job. I didn't have any kids. I didn't have anything. And then to top it all off, our house was right on the side of this major highway. I was out looking for a job. I had a girl to come by and let Daisy out. She was my Doberman Pinscher. She was all I had. Me, and told me that Daisy had gotten out. I told her, well, I'll catch her when I get home. And she said, no ma'am, Miss Price. Daisy was hit by a car. I just remember I went in the house. When I got home, and I just kept saying, I just don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do this anymore. That night, I was restless the whole night. Normally I can lay down and I'm out like a light, but not on this night. I was just restless, and I think it was just everything that was piling in on me. And then I woke up. I heard whispering. I didn't see anything, but I heard whispering. I just can't take this anymore. 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 It wasn't my voice. I began to feel something sinking down on me, on top of me. And it just got heavier and heavier and heavier. And the voice just kept getting louder. I just can't take this anymore. I just can't take this anymore. I was frozen. I couldn't move. I began to have these sharp pains in my chest. And then I just closed my eyes very, very tightly. And I just began to repeat in my head over and over and over, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Little by little, the weight lifted, the heaviness lifted. Be careful what you say. She hears everything. Chapter 8, Modern Encounters. Shadows in the Night. The Boo Hag isn't just from the 1700s, 1800s, no. She's even felt today and seen today. Even today, stories circulate of people seeing her in the shadows of the night. Sometimes in old houses, abandoned buildings. Some report feeling an icy presence sitting on their chest, unable to breathe or scream. Have you felt this before? Have you experienced pain? Feeling weighted down? First person, a young woman in Mississippi. I've read all up on the Boo Hag. The Boo Hag doesn't just come to old haunted houses. The Boo Hag goes wherever she senses negativity, wherever she senses that someone is hopeless. She hears it. So I was in my dorm. I woke up. I've been stressing out all day because of exams. I forget what I kept saying. When I told my roommate about it, she didn't believe me. But I'm telling you that I experienced pure evil. I took my shower, brushed my teeth, and I went to bed. I was just overwhelmed. I sleep on my back, and I constantly have my head like this across my eyes because my roommate has a nightlight and it just shines right in front of my eyes. I needed to get a sleep mask, but I just really haven't broken down to get it. But I had my hand across my head like this, and I just wiped it, and it was just as slippery and slick. I raised up to try to turn my lamp on, and I couldn't move. And I just kept feeling these drops hitting my face, my cheeks, my eyes, my forehead. I panicked because I couldn't move. I felt weighted down. I felt like someone had taken a bunch of heavy books like those coffee table books, and it piled about 10 or 15 of them on me. And that's when I saw it. She was right above me. She was just hovering. And she just had blood dripping out of her mouth, and it was falling on me. Her face was dark and bloodied and distorted. She sat on my chest for, it felt like hours. All I remember, I don't know if I passed out from fear. I just remember just passing out and there being total darkness. There was a man in Georgia who experienced the exact same thing. His wife had just passed away. He was going to have to sell the house because with his paycheck, he wasn't going to be able to afford it. So he was stressed. He experienced the exact same thing. Chapter 9, The Legend Lives On. The Boo Hag is a fixture in Southern culture and folklore, warning children and adults alike to stay indoors at night. Her story is passed down through generations in songs, in stories, and warnings. She appears in stories, songs, and ghost tales passed down through generations. She's become a symbol of fear in the American South. An evil spirit that can slip through the cracks of reality and feed on your darkest fears. Paralyzing fears. Many say her legend is a warning. The darkness is never far, and spirits like her thrive on vulnerability. She can sense weakness. Chapter 10, The Enduring Shadow. Decades have passed, but the legend of the Boo Hag remains alive in whispers and stories across the South. People still caution each other. Now I will. Stay inside when the sun sets, or the hag will sit on your chest during your life. Don't think anything negative, and if you do, don't say it out loud. Her story has become woven into the fabric of local folklore, a warning passed down through generations. Many who claim to have encountered her describe, before she approaches, a chilling feeling, an icy, weighty presence sitting on their chest, eyes glowing in the dark, teeth bared in a silent snarl, blood dripping. Some say she appears as a shadow that is cloaked in a dark robe, faceless and cloaked, while others are clearly able to see her face. And what a terrible, terrible sight it is. Others recount seeing her as a bloody, terrifying face with hollow eyes, staring into their own reflection in the mirror, blood smeared across her mouth. Many victims report feeling drained afterward, exhausted, sick, terrible headaches, haunted for days, weeks, months, years. Her true nature remains a mystery. She doesn't have a name that we know of. Some believe she is a cursed spirit, a demon, or the manifestation of our collective fears. But what's certain is her power to terrify us and to feed on suffering. She embodies nightmares and the fears of darkness, sleep paralysis, and unseen evil. Her legend warns us the darkness is never too far, and shadows can hide more than just the absence of light. They can hide nightmares made flesh, feeding on our weaknesses and fears. So, what do you think of the Boo Hag? Are you going to practice keeping your thoughts in your head and don't let it come out of your mouth? I'm going to try it. And that is the story for tonight, Night Dwellers. The Boo Hag of the American South. Scary? Indeed. Happy birthday, Lulu! Thank you, James. Yes, I'm going to be on. I only took Memorial Day weekend just to spend it with family, and I just wanted to give everybody a break, but I am right back on. I missed you too, Miranda. I miss you all. I was so ready. I was so excited. Tomorrow night, I will tell the Vera Jo Regal case for sure. Well, normally it would be Paranormal Wednesday. So I think I will do the Vera Jo Regal case because I promised I would, and I'm sorry that there was volume issues. Apparently it was that I was going live on my phone. Who knew? And now y'all can hear me good on here. So we are good there. And then I'm going to tell a paranormal story as well. But I missed you all. You have no idea. No, you have no idea how much. You are most welcome. You thought it safe to listen through, to sit and watch like shadows do. But now the dark has marked your name, and you have only yourself to blame. The boo hag stirs. She's out tonight. She slips beneath the skin, just right. No eyes, sharp teeth, just breath and bone. She climbs inside when you're alone. But don't fret, you're not alone. She never rises unless I've shown. For I, the Night Queen, lead her in. And now your dreams are soaked in sin. So hold your breath. Don't dare to scream. She'll wear your skin and still your dreams. And if you beg, if you try to flee, she'll whisper first, you belong to she. For in the darkest corridors of your nightmares, you don't belong to her. You belong to me. Pleasant dreams.
Really simple. People just overcomplicate things. I know exactly how to do it because I've been doing this for the past 5 years, and over the course of the 5 years, I've gotten over 1 billion.
Tomorrow night, on Twisted Tales Live, we are going deep and dark, as usual. You have no idea what is coming to you. Do you, my dear? No. In the darkest corridors of your nightmares, you belong to me. Only to me. Tonight, on Twisted Tales Live, we go deep, we go dark. First story, the Vera Jo Regal case, truly chilling. And the second story is Joseph Callinger, chilling indeed. Don't miss it, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I'll see you there. Tonight, on Twisted Tale. Scary audio sounds. On Twisted Tales Live, we go deep, we go dark. Tonight, on Twisted Tales Live, we go deep, we go dark. First story, the Vera Jo Regal case, truly chilling. And the second story is Joseph Callinger, chilling indeed. Don't miss it, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I'll see you there. Tonight, on Twisted Tales Live, we go deep, we go dark. First story, the Vera Jo Regal case, truly chilling. And the second story. Tonight, on Twisted Tales Live, it's a remarkable thing. Absolutely remarkable. How in the world can one person in one day do everything that is expected of them? It's chilling, frightening, apologetically different. For what? Oh no. Don't bother. It won't benefit you. Another will do for me. Tonight on Twisted Tales Live. Welcome, Night Dwellers. Okay, where are you, you starry bird? Little bird, little bird. Oh, here we go. We are not afraid of anything, or anyone, or anybody, or any shadow.
Queen.
Tonight, on
Hello,
Twisted
Night
Tales
Queen.
Live, my beautiful
Hello,
Night
Night
Dwellers,
Queen.
we are going
Snack.
deep and dark with
Snack.
true crime, serial
Snack.
killer Tuesday.
Berries.
Tonight's cases that we are
Berries.
going to cover is
Berries.
and
Hello, Night Queen.
hello, Edgar.
Hello, Night
Welcome, Night
Queen.
Dwellers,
Hello,
to
Night
Twisted Tales
Queen.
Live. I am your host,
Snack.
Bryn Norton.
Snack. Snack.
Welcome, Night Dwellers. Welcome, Night Dwellers, to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Morgan. I have a question to ask you. Do you like scary stories? You do? Well, good. I'm so thrilled about that. Have you ever considered that there might be more than that? Much, much more. Here we go. Welcome, Night Dwellers,
Hello, Night
to Twisted
Queen.
Tales Live.
Hello,
I am the Night Queen. This
Hello,
is the
Night
Night
Queen.
Realm, and this is
Snack. Snack. Berries. 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 Hello, Night Queen. Hello, Night Queen. Hello, Night Queen. Berries. 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 Blueberries.
such a pest.
Blueberries. 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 Nevermore.
Welcome, Night Dwellers, to the Night Realm. I am the Night Queen, and tonight's stories will chill you to your soul. The first story will be the Verger Regal case, one of the most shocking true crime stories that I have ever heard. The second is Joseph Callinger, another chilling serial unaliver story that I have never heard. Both of these will shake you to your very core. Tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Do you like scary stories? Then join me if you dare. Welcome. To Twisted Tales Live. I'm your host, Bren Morgan. Welcome, Night Dwellers, to the Night Realm. I am the Night Queen, and tonight's stories will chill you to your soul. The first story will be the Verger Regal case, one of the most shocking true crime stories that I have ever heard. The second is Joseph Callinger, another chilling serial unaliver story that I have never heard. Both of these will shake you to your very core. Tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Do you like scary stories? Then join me if you dare. Welcome, Night Dwellers, to the Night Realm. I am the Night Queen, and tonight's stories will chill you to your soul. The first story will be the Verger Regal case, one of the most shocking true crime stories that I have ever heard. The second is Joseph Callinger, another chilling serial unaliver story that I have never heard. Both of these will shake you to your very core. Tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Do you like scary stories? Then join me if you dare. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, Night Dwellers, to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Brent Morgan. I have a question for you. To the Night Realm. Night Dwellers, to the Night Realm. Second shaft. Here we are. For every word you write, Tell me. Hello, my name is Bryn Morgan, and I am the host of Twisted Tales Live. I'm also a horror author. The tip that I want to give you this time is, do you ever hear that whisper inside of your soul that says, you'll never be a writer? Don't believe that. Another one. Still carrying stories no one else can tell. Hello, my name is Bryn Morgan, and I am a horror author. I am also a scary storyteller on my show, Twisted Tales Live. You think you're not going to make it? Struggling to write the book, and you're just not sure what is going to come of it. You think you're not going to make it, that you're not a good enough writer. Let me remind you of something. You're still here. My name is Bryn Morgan, and I am a horror author. I am also the Night Queen on my show, Twisted Tales Live, where I tell scary stories. I used to have those doubts that would creep in. I know them well. Oh, no one's going to want to read this. No one's going to want to read your work. But let me remind you again, you're still here. You're still writing in the dark. You're still carrying stories that no one else can tell. Imposters don't stay up at night bleeding into keyboards. Struggling to write your book, and you're just really between a rock and a hard place. I get it. You're still editing that same chapter over and over and over again. That's not perfectionism. That is fear in disguise. You're not protecting your story. You're keeping it caged. You're going to have to let it out at some point. You're going to have to let someone see it. Let it be messy, let it be wild, let it breathe. Because the longer you polish it, chapter 1, the longer your book stays a ghost. Take a chance and move forward to chapter 2. Comment, set it free, if you're done rewriting the same sentence into silence. And tag a writer who needs to let the story live. Don't just sit there, put it out there. I know it's scary, but do it. Move forward, step out of your comfort zone. Stay tuned for tip number 13. Oh, we're almost done. And join me on Twisted Tales Live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Sorry, tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Struggling to write your book. You are paralyzed by perfection. I know how that is, believe me. When I was first writing The Haunting of Hastings House, oh my goodness, I was such a perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect. And then one day I was like, you know what, Bryn? It's never going to be done. It's never going to be completed because you are just sitting here agonizing over it over and over and over again. Stop editing that same chapter over and over. That's not perfectionism. That's fear. in disguise. Believe it or not, you're afraid to move forward. Do you want to be an author? You're going to have to put it out there. You're going to have to let someone see your work. You've got this. Go ahead. Be brave. Move on from chapter 1. Stay tuned for the next tip. And don't forget to like, follow, and comment, and share. And join me tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, where I am going to be telling 2 chilling stories. I'll see you there. Struggling to write your book? And you don't know where to start. I know, I've been there. Struggling to write your book? You are struggling to write your book. You are paralyzed by perfection. I know how that is, believe me. When I was first writing The Haunting of Hastings House, oh my goodness, I was such a perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect. And then one day I was like, you know what, Bryn? It's never going to be done. It's never going to be completed because you are just sitting here agonizing over it over and over and over again. Stop editing that same chapter over and over. That's not perfectionism. That's fear in disguise. Believe it or not, you're afraid to move forward. Do you want to be an author? You're going to have to put it out there. You're going to have to let someone see your work. You've got this. Go ahead. Be brave. Move on from chapter 1. Stay tuned for the next tip. And don't forget to like, follow, and comment, and share. And join me tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, where I am going to be telling 2 chilling stories. I'll see you there. Struggling to write your book. You are paralyzed by perfection. I know how that is. Believe me, I do know.